Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we are going to talk about the AC blower relay on a Western Star 2000 model. Now this could be any vehicle on the road. Could be Western Star, Peterbilt, Freight Shaker, Kenworth, could be an old Chevrolet, Ford, whatever. Here's your blower motor and here's the relay. The relay was up here in the dash and it decided to catch on fire and burn up. So while I was sitting one day, you see I lengthened these wires. That's why they're all different colors. These two wires go to the blower and these are cut in different colors because it seems every time I get a blower motor from Freightliner for this truck, it is going in the opposite direction than it's supposed to. So I have to cut these wires and flip them, which will change the direction of the motor, in case you did not know that. So these two wires, disregard, we'll put them up here. These other four wires go to this relay. And the problem I have is, you see this is a glider kit, and all of the wires on this glider kit are white throughout the whole truck. We do have a bundle up here that has some colors to it, but most of them are like this. So you don't really know what wire goes where. And this relay was burned up and the ends were scorched. So the wires that were barely hanging down were in fact burned up, where if they were colored, you couldn't tell it, okay? So what I had to do was lengthen these wires, and then we had to figure out what wire went where, and I'm going to show you what I had to do on that. Okay, so here is the relay, and I've showed you this before when we were doing the fan solenoid wiring, but out of the dash I had four wires. Okay, I put a voltmeter on them. One of them was 12 volt, but it only had 12 volts when the truck was on. And most of the time when you're dealing with relays, you would automatically assume that that 12 volt goes down here on the bottom on your battery power. Okay, so originally that's how I wired it up. And then the middle wire here, which is this yellow one you see with absolutely nothing on it, I probably need to cut that back. But that's this middle post right here. This one over here is your ground, and this one over here is your trigger wire. When I originally wired it, I put that 12 volt right here, and then I put the voltmeter on the other wires, and I had one that would not do anything at all, no voltage. I actually had two of them that were no voltage, and then I had one that was 12, and then I had one that was different. When you flip this switch right here, this is your fan speed right here, okay? You got off, you got low, medium, and high, all right? So that works. I had one wire that would be different. When you move that fan switch, you would get different voltage through the wire. And that is actually the wire that you put down here on the bottom, okay? Because you have to have that running through the system to tell the blower motor how fast that it should be going. So if you put that over here as your trigger wire, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go to the fan. It doesn't tell your fan how much to ride. So if you put your 12 volt down here and you put your trigger wire over here, virtually nothing's going to happen. You're not going to get any, you're not going to have any luck, because that blower will not run on a full 12 or 13 volts, whatever is coming out of that wire when the key is on. That 12 volt goes over here, because that 12 volt only has power when the key is on. So when you turn your key on, that turns the 12 volt onto this trigger wire and lets the system know that it's ready to go. That's why you never have any power to this middle one, because when you have power to this trigger, it automatically jumps that and comes out of here. So when you're on low speed, let's say you got 4 volts going through here, you're going to have 4 volts coming out of there. When you have 6 volts coming through here, you're going to have 6 volts coming out of there. 8 volts coming out of here, you're going to have 8 volts coming out of there. And that's what's going to tell that blower how fast to blow. So your 12 volt will go over here. The other one that is variable will go right here. Now you still have 2 more wires. How do you know which one is your ground? Well, run continuity through your voltmeter. Put one on one of the wires and then put the other end on a ground on the truck. And if you get continuity, that's your ground wire. Put that wire right here. The wire that you have left will be the wire that goes to the blower. So you'll have your variable voltage right here. You'll have your battery power, which is always the same, will be over here on your trigger wire. You'll have your ground. Then you'll have the wire that goes to your blower, and that's how you're going to wire that up. Okay? And that'll be any vehicle. If you get a vehicle and the relay, like this one was totally burned up. This whole section right here that had these tabs was just gone. And all I had was bare wires sticking out. So use that voltmeter and figure out what is where, and you'll be able to figure out which one goes there. This middle one's not going to do anything, because you're always going to have your 12, your constant power right here, which just simply tells the system, hey, it's ready to go. You can turn the truck off, and if you have your fan motor on, you're not going to get any power here because your trigger's going to be off because the truck is off. Okay? It's not hard. If you're good with a multimeter, or just mediocre with a multimeter like I am, just this right here that has the variable voltage, and sometimes this voltage is not different, but you still want your main 12 volt to be here, and this one might always be, let's say, 10 volts, but it never changes. Some of these systems work where the computer has a different pulsation to tell the blower motor what to do, and you still have to have that right here so you get different pulses running through these posts, and that's how you wire that up. Just a little bit something different. Usually when you have a 12 volt, it's always going to go down here, but the majority of the time it's going to go down here. In this case, it does not. It goes right here. So I appreciate you watching. This a little bit different, relay wiring, but that's, if you got 4 wires hanging out in your dash, you're not sure what goes where, that kind of will get you going in the right direction. So I appreciate you watching, and come back for some more tips later. Thank you.